In today's video, we're covering Rangers are pushing hard for a relentless midfielder with Celtic lurking in the background. A Sturm Graz star has been authorised for a medical as Rangers close in on a major signing. A left-back deal is agreed but delayed, with nerves starting to show. And a Premiership striker is being told to keep his head down while Rangers circle and the transfer noise explodes. This is not speculation. This is movement, pressure, and ambition colliding at Ibrox. If you love Rangers, hit that like button. Another busy day around Ibrox, and this one has that familiar whiff of an old firm tug of war about it. Rangers are pushing hard behind the scenes to land Silas Andersson, a young midfielder, making serious noise over in Sweden with BK Häcken, and make no mistake, this is not a simple or cheap deal. Danny Röhl has completely flipped the mood at Rangers. One defeat in 13 league matches tells you everything about the momentum shift, and he has done it without bringing in a single new signing. That alone should make you sit up. The squad is growing in confidence, the structure looks clear, and Ibrox feels alive again. But Röhl has been honest. He wants hunger and ambition in the market, and midfield is right at the top of his list, with Nico Raskin constantly linked with a move away. Rangers are planning ahead rather than being caught short. Andersson fits the profile perfectly. Young, powerful, disciplined, and described by scouts as relentless in his work. Over 6 foot tall, strong in the tackle, and comfortable on the ball. He looks built for Scottish football rather than needing time to survive it. The problem is, BK Häcken know exactly what they have. They are under no pressure to sell, and it has been made very clear that it would take a real decent fee to even start the conversation. To make things spicier, Celtic are sniffing around as well, which always turns a sensible transfer into a test of nerve, ambition, and intent. Here is where Rangers must be decisive. This is not about stockpiling bodies. Röhl clearly does not fancy certain midfield options already at the club, and Andersson would not be coming in to sit quietly on the bench. He would be a statement signing, one that strengthens Rangers while denying Celtic a player who could genuinely improve them. You look at the physicality, the age profile, the European experience, and the upside, and it screams smart recruitment rather than panic buying. The question is whether Rangers are willing to go that extra step financially to get this done and show that the title push is being backed properly. If it comes down to Rangers versus Celtic in a straight fight for Andersson, should Rangers blow them out of the water with a big offer to make a statement, or is that exactly the kind of gamble that could come back to haunt the club later in the season? Things are moving quickly now, and this feels like one of those moments where Rangers decide whether talk turns into action. The key step has been taken. Tochi Chukwuani has been authorised to undergo a medical, and that tells you everything about how far down the road this deal really is. Danny Röhl has not been subtle about what he wants. He has squeezed every ounce out of the current squad, dragged Rangers back into the title race, and now he wants backing. Chukwuani looks like exactly the kind of midfielder Röhl trusts. Mobile, composed, tactically switched on, and already a league winner with Sturm Graz. He brings experience beyond his age. The breakthrough appears to be built around a fee in the region of 5 million euros, with add-ons and a sell-on clause included. That is serious money in Scottish terms, and it signals intent. Rangers are not window shopping here. They are moving decisively. Missing a recent friendly for Sturm Graz only added fuel to the fire, and now the green light for a medical suggests this is edging towards completion rather than speculation. At 22, Chukwuani is coming in at the right time. A key figure for his club, his exit will be felt in Austria, but Rangers are thinking about now in the months ahead. With league pressure, cup football, and European commitments piling up, depth and quality in midfield are not luxuries, they are necessities. What makes this even more interesting is that Rangers are not stopping there. Talks have already taken place with Sunderland over Dan Neil and Romain Mundle, with the latter seen as a possible loan option. Mundle's lack of game time made that one look straightforward, but starting against Everton in the FA Cup under Regis Lebris has complicated things. Rangers will be watching closely, hoping that door stays open. Momentum is everything in football. Roll has rebuilt belief, but belief needs support. Bringing in Chukwuani would be a clear signal that Rangers are serious about sustaining this push and not letting it fade when the fixture list bites. If Rangers are willing to commit real money to Chukwuani, should they go even further and back Roll aggressively across the squad, or is there a risk that pushing too hard in January could unbalance what is finally working at Ibrox? Tour Romans is edging closer to Rangers, but this deal is not moving at the lightning pace some expected. Despite an agreement being lined up and a medical already underway in Glasgow, the signing is not expected to be wrapped up until later next week. That alone tells you this is not a panic move, it is one being handled carefully. Romans has been identified as the preferred left-back option ahead of other names on the list, and that says plenty about how highly he is rated by the recruitment team and Danny Roll. At 22, he fits the age profile perfectly, and the numbers back up the interest. Strong in duels, reliable defensively, and consistent in his performances, he looks like a player built for the intensity of Scottish football. The hold-up appears to be procedural rather than problematic. Rangers and Westerlo are still finalizing the finer details, even though the medical process has already started. The agreed structure includes an initial fee of £2,600,000, with a further £430,000 tied to performance-related add-ons. That is sensible business, not reckless spending. From Roll's point of view, the frustration will be timing, with Hearts there to be hunted down in the Premiership and a relentless run of fixtures ahead. He will want new faces in the building as quickly as possible. Supporters are also watching closely, hoping this is not where the business ends, because everyone can see that more quality is still needed across the squad. There is also movement expected the other way, with interest in players from Sunderland and limited minutes for younger squad members like Lyle Cameron and Findlay Curtis. January could just as easily be about exits as arrivals. That is the reality of a rebuild happening at speed. If Rangers delay deals like Romans and miss the chance to use him in crucial matches, is that smart patience in the market, or is it another example of hesitation that could cost the title race when margins are this tight? Kieran Bowie keeps doing the one thing that makes transfer talk impossible to ignore. He keeps scoring. Back in the Hibs starting lineup after missing a match through illness, he was exactly where he needed to be, finishing calmly from a Jordan Obita cross to make it 9 goals for the season. No fuss, no drama, just a striker doing his job. David Gray has been keen to play it all down, praising Bowie's attitude and insisting the speculation has not gone to his head. He talks about feet on the ground, hard work and improvement, but even he admits the reality. When a forward is delivering goals, physical presence and aggression, clubs are going to notice, and Rangers are very much noticing. What stands out is not just the goal return, but the profile. Bowie brings size, strength, and the ability to occupy defenders, something Rangers have lacked at times when games become scrappy and tight. Gray openly admitted that physicality was missing in previous matches, and Bowie provided it in abundance. That will not go unnoticed by a manager like Danny Roll, who demands intensity and purpose in the final third. The price tag being talked about is around £6,500,000. That is not small change, especially in January, but this is the type of deal that can shift a season. Bowie is only 23, improving, and already handling pressure and noise without his form dipping. That is a dangerous combination. Hibs are happy to fly under the radar, sitting fifth and quietly building momentum, but they know keeping hold of Bowie this month will be difficult. Goals talk louder than interviews, and Rangers are in a position where adding the right striker could be the difference between chasing and catching. So, if Rangers are serious about winning this title, should they be willing to drop £6,500,000 on Bowie right now and send a message? Or would paying that fee for a striker from a domestic rival be reckless when the pressure is at its highest? Like the video, drop a comment and subscribe for daily Rangers news. Don't miss a thing.